make you take am easy.
Na so.
Radio Afinju says if you drink, don't drive. If you drive, don't drink.
Jejeje o.
Make you take am easy.
Na so.
This awareness is brought to you by Radio Afinju.
Wherever you are listening or watching Radio Afinju, the time is 7 a.m.
Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Lórí WhatsApp. Àfínjú. Instagram. Àfínjú. Facebook. Àfínjú. Lórí X. Àfínjú. Lórí YouTube. Àfínjú. Lórí TikTok. Àfínjú. Kí lorúkọ rẹ̀? Àfínjú. Ẹ bá mi pè o. Àfínjú. Rédíò. Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń gbọ́ Àfínjú. Gbogbo èèyàn ló ń wo Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú. Rédíò Àfínjú.
Stay informed with news on Radio Afinju.
It's another Sunday, a beautiful Sunday to you wherever you're listening to us from. And this is newspaper headlines on Radio Afinju, where we bring you the stories making the waves in our national dailies to your hearings, talking about Punch newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, Daily Post, Daily Trust, even the Nation newspaper will bring the news making the waves in those papers to your hearings. My name is Tolulope Awoyale, and I won't be doing this alone. Good morning.
Good morning, Tolulope. Today it's another beautiful Sunday right here in the studio, and to amazing listeners and viewers all over the world. How was the night? Hope you had a wonderful night rest. You're welcome once again to newspaper headlines. We'll bring you news and everything you need to know this morning, even though as you're preparing to go to church. Now we're here for you to bring you latest news. And if you don't want to listen to us on Facebook, you can go to our website www.afinjufm.com. My name is John Omojasala, and this is the last Sunday of the month.
Yes, this is the last Sunday of the month. That is so great.
Yeah.
And just like you've heard, you can also follow us on Zeno Radio. We are there. You can download it on your Play Store or Apple Store at Radio Afinju, REDIO. We are the station with an impeccable dimension to broadcasting. So this morning, I have the Nation newspaper with me. I have the Daily Post and also the Punch newspaper.
All right, from my end this morning, I have Vanguard newspaper, Leadership, and Tribune, Nigerian Tribune.
All right, now I'll be giving you the headlines of the news we'll be bringing to you this morning. So from the Nation newspaper this morning, again, Ohaneze begs federal government for Nnamdi Kanu's release. Fubara, Rivers peace terms heavy, bitter, but necessary.
All right, from Vanguard this morning, insecurity declares state of emergency in northern leaders tells Tinubu. Tinubu spent chant for holidays while Nigerians suffer disheartening. Peter Obi, worst of PDP defections yet to come. Saraki.
All right, from the Daily Post this morning, resident worries as scavengers presence multiple in Abuja and suburbs. Enugu Governor Mba speaks on leaving PDP. NDLEA destroys 30 hectares of cannabis farmlands in Cross River.
All We're moving to leadership newspaper this morning. 110 applications. Nigeria does not need more political parties. CSOs. Others. Another one here says federal government moves to curb brain drain with digital career pathway for civil servants.
All right, from the Punch this morning, that will be the last news I'll be picking. David Mark may lead coalition battle against Tinubu. Akume remains SGF presidency shoots down rumor.
All right, the last one I'll be picking this morning, which is the Nigerian Tribune. Party registration. ADA gets green light as INEC writes pro tem chairman. Nigeria on the verge of industrial revolution under Tinubu, ex-rep, minority leader, Bewaji.
All right, that is the headlines and the newspaper we'll be bringing to your hearings this morning. Just stay with us. We're taking a breather just now, and then we'll be right back. You're welcome back. This is still newspaper headlines on Radio Afinju, and we're bringing you the news making the waves in our national dailies to your hearing. So I'll be picking my first story from the Punch newspaper. 2027, David Mark may lead coalition battle against Tinubu. Barring any last-minute change, the anti-Tinubu coalition is set to announce the African Democratic Congress as its adopted platform. It is also gathered that former state president David Mark would also serve as the interim national chairman of the party. The decisions were reportedly taken by leaders of the anti-Tinubu group, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, former Governor Nasir El-Rufai, Kaduna State, and Rotimi Amechi, Rivers State. Three credible sources confirmed that Mark had accepted to be the new leader of the party. Sources noted that the coalition was still in the process of selecting a national secretary following the decision of former Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola and Senator Peter Obi Ben to decline the offer. Insiders said a consensus would be reached to the position of National Secretary, adding that the ADC would officially be unveiled this week. One of the reliable sources disclosed to a correspondent that the coalition leaders would meet in Abuja on Wednesday to finalize all unresolved matters. He stated, "What can I tell you is that we have all agreed on the ADC as a national coalition platform, so ADC is our party, and that has been settled. Another significant development is that we have all agreed that the former President of the Senate, David Mark, will serve as the national interim chairman. We would also have to resolve the issue of the national secretary, but Aregbesola has turned it down. He cited age had mentioned and his wife told him to slow down. Senator Ben Obi also declined the offer, so we will settle that later. We had planned to unveil the party already, but Labour Party Peter Obi and he had consulted with his supporters, including a governor with some lawmakers. Hopefully, we will make the official announcement this week and we will all leave our political platform for the ADC." And that is on the Punch newspaper this morning. Boldly written, David Mark may lead coalition battle against Tinubu.
Okay, now David Mark.
Now we have the coalition party. He's here to stay.
Now, we're not saying the coalition party is not here to stay. Just like on Friday, we're having a discussion on Bagede or so, journalist roundtable. We're talking, and someone said we shouldn't condemn the new party or the ADA yet. That we should allow them do what they wanted to do, which is to unseat the president and see if they can do their best. No one is actually saying that a new political party should not come on board. But the thing is that they are now forming coalition, all for the purpose of removing to unseat the incumbent president, which is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, the problem is not really about the coalition. The problem is that, are you really doing this for the masses, or you're just doing this for your own self because you do not benefit from this administration? That is the question. It's not really about the people, as the people or the citizens who are even voting for the representatives and the president and everybody. Have they really come out to say that we do not want the president again? Then let 2027 come first before you say that, okay, let us take another step. But they are taking these steps on their own behalf. Before some of them do not really benefit from this administration. And let me make a reference, just like what I said on Friday. Friday. I said Adin bin Nasir El-Rufai, who was the one that was even saying that this president is good. That was during the time of the president's visit to Kaduna that time. Now, you were the one that was even raising President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and this is the man that can do it. This is the man that can bring Nigeria out of suffering, and this is the man that can help Nigerians.
Well,
now you're the one. You are not part of the people who are now forming the coalition. Yeah. Now the question is that you've been given a position, a political post in the Bola Ahmed-led administration. Is it going to be part of the people that will be going down and be saying that he wanted to form a coalition? Just like another reference I made on Friday. I said he was on a particular popular TV station on air. And he was saying that from the get-go, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not like him. He was saying it on the television. He was saying it there. Now the question is that you're given an appointment. Will you be part of the people that will say that you want to form a coalition? And over the time, we've had it over the time, political parties coming together just for them to unseat a particular candidate. Now that is not the problem. Nobody is saying that they shouldn't come on board. But the problem is that, are you really doing this for the people, or you're doing this for yourselves?
Despite the fact that he was one of Bola Tinubu's supporters, the president's supporters at the time where he was contesting for election. Now, from all of this, him joining the coalition party and forming the ADC, the perspective has changed. The point of view has now changed. He is now seeing him as someone that is not worthy of the seat anymore. So, the coalition party, it is.
Well, the coalition party, we still have a lot of talk, but I'm very sure in some of the stories we still have to pick again about this whole issue of coalition. Yes. And I'm very sure we'll be able to analyze it even more better. Well, starting from our own end this morning, from the Vanguard newspaper, where it says, yet insecurity declares state of emergency in northern leaders, tells Tinubu. And with the writer here that says, condemned killing of 20 soldiers, civilians in Niger. Abuja, the Northern Leaders Forum, NEF, yesterday called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to declare a state of emergency in northern Nigeria over the unbated insecurity challenges, as it condemned killing of 20 soldiers in Bangi Mariga local government area of Niger State. The news also said in a statement signed by the spokesperson of NEF, Professor Abubakar Jadire, the NEF expressed pain over the brutal killing of soldiers in an ambush by terrorists in the area, and described it as a total collapse of security in northern Nigeria. Jideri said the boldness demonstrated by terrorists is an indication of declaration of war against Nigeria, and added that the northern Nigeria is under siege. He said, more than 20 uniformed men defender of the nation were slaughtered like animals by a gang of well-armed terrorists who launched a brazen coordinated ambush that completely overwhelmed the base. This is not just an attack. It's a declaration of war against the Nigerian state, and the state is losing. This barbaric assault is only the latest chapter of the ongoing bloodbath that has turned northern Nigeria into a war zone throughout June 2025. From Benue to Plateau to Kwara to Kaduna, and from Zamfara to Sokoto, Borno, and now Niger. What we're witnessing now is not mere insecurity. It's an unrelenting campaign of terror, mass murder, and failed state. Entire communities are being wiped out, homes touched, lives shattered, and still the killers roam freely, unchallenged and unpunished. The truth is stark and undeniable. The Nigerian government has failed inconsistently in its constitutional duty to protect lives and property. The North is drowning in blood, its people abandoned, while security forces either cannot respond or are completely absent. And this is coming this morning from the Vanguard newspaper, which says, insecurity declares state of emergency in northern leaders tell Tinubu. See, let me just see. This whole issue of security, this whole issue of insecurity in Nigeria has actually gotten to a point where even when the president, I think the president needs to just, even seek external aids. If the internal security is not really giving us what we wanted. Yes. I could remember during the time where President Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, and Goodluck Jonathan is the president of Nigeria. Was the president of Nigeria at that time? I could remember President Bola Tinubu tweeting to the then president Goodluck Jonathan that you are the chief of armed forces. Chief and commander of armed forces in Nigeria, then you have to take a very drastic action. You have the command, give the command. Now we are saying that to the president too now, because a lot of people are being killed. I was with a particular friend of mine, is an northern man that was on Friday. Yes, it was on Friday. So we're having a discussion That day he told me this same particular incident happened. Though we're just hearing it now, but it happened. That wasn't Friday night. He said his friend is one of the people killed here. In fact, he showed me the pictures.
Can you imagine?
Yes, his friend was also part of the soldiers killed here, and his friend was not even on uniform that day, but it was in his base. So his father, the friend of the father, came to visit him. With the father, with his friend, they were being killed. Now, I'm not really saying that the security apparatus in Nigeria are not trying. They are giving in their best. At least we have news every day that they capture this, they capture that, they seize the rifle, they take this, they take that. The Air Force are also trying, by striking some of these bases and all. Now, the thing is that since the issue of security keep persisting, and this set of people still have their phones, they have SIM cards. They go to YouTube, they go on air on TikTok. They go on Facebook, they record people being kidnapped. There's a particular video I even saw that a particular soldiers, they were taken hostage, and they bind their hand to the back like this, and they put every one of them on bike with the terrorists, and they did a video. Can't we trace that video? They have TikTok accounts. They post TikTok. If they went for if they went for their operation and they were able to, they kidnap and all that, and they were given ransom, they will bring out the bill of the money on TikTok like this on different occasions. They will even put on they put on uniform of soldiers. They'll put on uniform of police, and they'll be robbing people, killing people in most states. Now there's no rest. Imagine in states where you can't even sleep. You can't even close your two eyes to sleep because you're scared. At the middle of the night they might come. Now we have the issue of Benue that is there. People are just talking about it. In the meantime, people will forget about it and people will move on. People have already moved on already, even paying attention to some other things. We have the likes of Plateau State. We have Zamfara. We have Borno there. That Borno is even consistent. We know that every day is Borno.
Even yesterday, we still had the news from Borno State.
So okay, now do we wait until we have like maybe 10,000 people killed at a time before we can actually react? The reaction is not really. And I know that the president is trying. The security apparatus are trying their best and all. Yes, but this can keep consistent, and we can really just use a very tiny piece of technique to just catch them. They have phones. So what is the essence of the SIM registration in the first place?
Yeah.
Now they say that bring your NIN, bring everything. What is the essence? So this is just a wake-up call. Because the reason why some people don't really feel it is because it's not really closer to them.
Yeah.
And it does not happen to their family. Once it happens to the family of the people killed, would they be smiling right now? Would they be laughing?
No.
And we expect this set of people to be, and farmers is part of these people. We have farmers amidst them, and we expect these people to even go to their farm and farm again, despite the killing. Benue State, the food basket of the nation, people can't even go to their farms. People go to their farm, they get killed. They get raped on their farmland. We have people born, we have property born, we have people rice, we have in Benue State they plant rice. Rice burnt to ground, over 200 million rice burnt to ground. And we're saying that we are in a country and we still have people like this going out. The thing is that I would just say we need more hands. Even if they are going to employ more hands that has to do with tackling this issue of insecurity, so that people can have a good night rest. Even in some part of Osun State here, we've seen it even in some part of Osun. Yeah, they are saying that armed robbers now go at night to visit people and collect their belongings. In some part of Osun State. Now, this is how it starts. Because in Benue State, it was just like that.
Yeah.
Just that, yes, 5 people were killed on their farmland. Yeah, female Fulani herdsmen went to the farmland and killed farmers. That was how it started. Before we now get to this 200. Now, that time people were not even paying cognizance to all those things. Yeah. Because they feel like it still are just 5 people. Now, until get to 200 people are now saying that, 200 people, 500 people. No, we shouldn't wait till get to that extent. Niger State just experienced flood, where families of people are wiped out. Over 20 families, some 5 families, 10 families are wiped out with this whole issue of flood. They are still battling that one. Now we still have this issue of killing again.
Of course, we have a lot of insecurity.
So for how long will this continue in a country where we have the military, the police, the security apparatus of which they are trying their best, and this thing keep happening? Now, are we saying that the terrorists are more in population than those security apparatus we have in Nigeria? That is the question. And you still see them roaming freely on bikes with their guns, AK-47. How do they get all these guns?
Of course.
Through which parts? We have customs on the border. We have the NDLEA. We have the security at the airport. And where do they get all these weapons? This is just a question that we just need to think. Not about
questions are being unanswered.
That is just it. This issue of insecurity is something that is really, really making people cry right now. Some people are on their toes crying right now.
All right, I'm still on the Punch newspaper. George Akume remains SGF, presidency said. The presidency has debunked news making the rounds that the secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, has been replaced. Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, debunked the information in a terse statement on Saturday night. The statement reads in full: "There's been no change in the status of His Excellency Senator George Akume as Secretary to the Government of the Federation. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, currently in St. Lucia, has not made any new appointment. The information circulating about Akume's replacement is untrue. Agents of mischief fabricated it. The presidency advised Nigerians to disregard fake news." That is on the Punch newspaper this morning. Says George Akume remains SGF, presidency says.
Of course, it remains. Lastly, since the presidency has said it, and it remains. But let me just say, rumors. Some rumors rumors starts with just just carrying from one person to another and people hearing about
just
it. But
one person's speculation.
in
then
some
passing it down
instances,
to
some of
another.
those rumors came to reality.
Yes.
Forget about it. Because I've seen different instances even this year. So, but of course, since the presidency has reaffirmed the fact that it's still there,
now,
then we will still hope for that anyway. But of course, if any other news come out about that, we'll bring it on board. Well, I'm still on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. This one says Tinubu's pet chant for holiday while Nigerians suffer disheartening. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi, has expressed disappointment that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appears to have prioritized foreign travel over the well-being, safety and security of Nigerians. Obi, in a post on X, said, "No, Mr. President, this is not the time for holiday." On his X handle on Saturday, he said he was still struggling to understand what is happening to governance in this country. He said, "What I have seen and witnessed in the last 2 years have left me in shock about poor governance delivery, and apparent channeling of energy into politics and satisfaction of elites, while the masses in our midst are languishing in want. In the past 2 years, Nigeria has lost more people in all sorts of criminality than a country that is officially at war. Without any tweaks, Nigeria rank among the most insecure places in the world. Nigerians are hungrier, and the most people do not know where their next meal will come from. With such a gory picture of countries, you can imagine when I saw a news release from the presidency and that the president Tinubu is departing Nigeria today for a visit in St. Lucia in the Caribbean. The presidency also merely confirmed an early news report seen last week where the Prime Minister of Caribbean, Philip J. Perry, announced at a pre-cabinet press briefing on Monday. Last week, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to depart Nigeria on Saturday, June 28, 2025 for St. Lucia for official engagements and private leisure. According to the Prime Minister's announcement, 2 of those days, June 30 and July 1st, will be dedicated to an official visit, with the remainder of the trip set aside for as a personal vacation. I told the person who drew my attention to the Caribbean story that it cannot be true that the president is just coming back from holiday in Lagos. I don't want to believe that anyone in the position of authority, more so the president, on whose table the buck stop in this country, with all the pyramid problem in virtual all areas of governance, will contemplate a leisure trip this time. This is a president going for leisure when the countries when he couldn't visit Minna, Niger State, where over 200 lives were lost and 7 persons still missing in a flood natural disaster. I wonder which type of incident will happen before a president is attracted to show physical empathy to the distressed citizens. And this is coming this morning from Peter Obi, and you can find it on the Vanguard newspaper, where it says, "President pen chant for holidays while all Nigerians suffering disheartening." Peter Obi. This is still the same thing I was saying when I was talking about this whole issue of insecurity. Now, no one is saying that the president should not go on vacation. No one is saying that the president should not visit other countries. But, there are some things that we do not really take serious in Nigeria. And that's the reason why I was saying it the other time. I said, is it until we have over 1,000 people die just in a single day before the president can really know that, no, this is something that I really need to take care of? Now, we have this. I just remember that we have the whole flood issue that happened in Niger State. I could remember that the president did not pay a visitation. I think one of the reasons why the president even paid a visitation to the people of Benue was because of the fact that people had now started dragging the president online. That
Of course,
when is the
yeah.
president going to pay a visit to the people of Benue State? And that was just about 150 to 200 people life killed overnight. And that was the reason the president even went there. In fact, there was criticism when the president went there that the president was just there for campaign.
Yeah.
Because there was a memo that came out that went viral on social media where they were saying that people should come out and welcome the president. This is a matter of going there to mourn. This is not a matter of going there to do a campaign. And he went there again. At the background, the MC was saying that people should wait and eat. People went there for a condolence visit, and you see telling that people should wait for food. Another thing is that when you went to Benue State, there was a video surfacing online that was showing pupils of primary schools in the rain, singing and waiting for the president inside the rain. And this is the same president, the same president that went there for condolence visits. Let me just tell you something. The leaders here are not taking this thing serious. And I don't think they will ever take it serious until we Nigerians take it serious. People even went to the streets of Benue State to campaign that this thing is not right, that people are being killed overnight in their homes, burned to ashes. In the middle of the night, people even lost 20 families, 5 families in this attack. And people were still tear gassed for protesting that they should end. People were tear gassed.
You know the reason why
people were even captured, people were arrested.
We have this much aggression is because the nonchalancy attitude from the federal government is really poking into people's eyes, and then it's making people to see that, okay, even the government is not really noticing, or they are not feeling it, like you said, because it is not in close proximity with them. It is not happening close to them. It is not even, all of this is not happening to them actually.
How will it get to them?
Of course.
How will it get to them? You live in a house with bulletproof, you have bulletproof cars. You live in a house where over 500 security men are there. Your children are not in Nigeria here.
That's why the nonchalance
and you expect
and ignorance.
And the funniest part that is actually putting me in this whole issue.
Obvious.
And this set of people, you will still go back to them for re-election. You will still go back to them for campaign.
To come out and vote.
And I'm very sure if the time for campaign comes, the presidency and everyone will still go back to Niger State and say they want to campaign.
Yeah.
They want to campaign to be re-elected into position. And these are the set of people that are displaced. They have flawed issue. Now, the president is on vacation to some of the states. I know in some parts of the world where even if a single citizen died, the whole country will be at mourn.
Yeah.
But here, even if you have 500 people killed, we are not at war. This is not a war zone. Nigeria is not a war zone. We have some countries around the world that are actually war zone right now, and we know even to their own at their own places, they're not even killing people as ours here. This is the issue of terrorism here. That one is even war, and people are still saving the beats. So what is now the essence of the whole having everything? And you say, no, don't worry. When I enter, there will not be issue of insecurity. Everything will be fine. Everything will go well. Now we have terrorists in Nigeria that are not even roaming freely, and if these terrorists are still captured and bring to justice, you will still free them that they are not mentally
or
okay.
Even start having negotiations.
They will say aside the negotiation, they will still free them and even give them money that they've repented Boko Haram members. I don't understand. And this is the country we live in.
Oh, okay. Now moving on to the Daily Post. Nugu Governor Mba speaks on leaving the PDP. We'll go on a short break now, and then when we come back, so we're picking this story from the Daily Post. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
For the best music,
Show me capital business, show me character weakness, show.
Season sport presentation.
Round 10 begins. If they complete this round.
Balanced and objective news reportage. And all-round entertainment. Listen to the jewel of the pack of radios in this class. Tune in to Radio Afinju right here in Oshobo, Osun State.
For up-to-date tori wey no get filter.
Politics matter.
Sports.
Ya lo hace. Pierna derecha, directo al arco. ¡Golazo! ¡Golazo!
Culture. Naija and Obodo Oyibo music. Advertisement wey go reach your customer home and abroad.
This is incredible.
Now on top Radio Afinju you go hear am.
You can't be serious.
Na so. Radio Afinju be baba for all radio stations wey dey Osogbo, Osun State. Radio Afinju na better level for broadcasting.
Alrighty then.
What's up, Naija? Did you miss any entertainment gist or music updates over the week?
From the creation story in Genesis to the promises of Revelation, the Bible is filled with stories that have inspired moments and transformed lives in so many ways. Discover how these ancient accounts still speak to us in this modern world. Let's explore the Bible together and uncover the treasures within.
So join me, Pearl Durotoye, as I delve into the rich tapestry of Bible stories every Sunday, 5 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Radio Afinju. God is love.
Yeah, welcome back. This is still newspaper headlines on Radio Afinju. And if you're yet to follow us on our social media platforms, kindly go to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, all at Radio Afinju. And we're still bringing you the news making the waves in our national dailies. And I am on Daily Post right now. Enugu Governor Mba speaks on leaving PDP. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba has debunked the speculations that he was leaving the People's Democratic Party PDP, stressing that he is still very much in the party. The governor made a rebuttal at an interactive session with the members of the Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE) yesterday in Enugu. I am still in the PDP, as you can see. The flag behind me is that of PDP, he said. While acknowledging the challenges facing PDP, Mba pointed out that the party was not the only one encountering crisis in the country, expressing optimism that the party would soon resolve its problems. Weighing in on the independent candidacy, the governor said the constitution could not recognize or have provision for someone who wants to run as an independent candidate. So you must still do the politics, as you cannot completely shield yourself from it. It is also clear from the people of Enugu State that we are in this to serve them. So we have focused largely on governance. I believe that at the end of the day, the people would have to decide whether they want to renew our mandate or kick us out, he added. Mba also revealed that his political rival in the 2023 governorship election in Enugu, Chijioke Edioga, had returned to the party and joined him in moving the Enugu state forward. That is on the Daily Post this morning. He said Enugu Governor Mba speaks on PDP, on leaving PDP.
Well, we are going to have many defections. Just like the news I'm going to be picking here. Next says something about all this whole issue of defection, that in coming days, there will still more people to defect to the ruling party. But the thing is
at this point, even if you see someone coming out saying, a governor rather, coming out saying, oh, I'm still in this particular party, anything can happen. That same day, you can have, I had a rethink to defect to this, just to reconsider for the forwardness and for the future of the city. You just hear one statement and then defection will happen. So you can just expect anything from the government.
Progressive move.
Yes.
All right, let me pick this last story from Vanguard newspaper this morning. It says, worst of PDP defections yet to come, Saraki. The chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Reconciliation Committee and former Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki has warned that more defections from the party will still occur, even as effort to continue repositioning the party ahead of the 2027 general election. Saraki made this known during an interview on Arise TV. He said PDP would likely see one or two more defections, and we should prepare ourselves for that. There is a responsibility. We haven't seen the worst of defection for PDP, but we would probably see maybe one or two governors who will defect, and we might see more senators who will defect. However, describing the time of the crisis as an advantage, urging that it gives the PDP time to recover and rebuild before the election cycle begins in full swing. Some of us, this is happening early. For some of us, this is happening early in PDP is an advantage. We are lucky that this is not happening. Let's say late 2026, we would not even had a time to recover and regroup. He said, we just have under 2 years to the election, and we're lucky to have that. I think with a lot of commitment and understanding, it is not a loose cause. A party with a 26 years of history that has been around, the largest party, will definitely have low times like these. Despite the turbulence at the national level, so like you said, the PDP remains strong at the grassroots and across structures. And this is coming this morning from the Vanguard newspaper, where it says, worst of PDP defections yet to come. Saraki.
Of course.
Like just like what you said yesterday.
Anything. Just expect anything from
just like what he said yesterday. The whole issue of defection and all is still, according to him, he said it's still at least managed. At least it still makes sense, because imagine like people are now defecting in the year 2026, but now he's just making them see that okay, this is where we can re-strategize. This is how we can re-strategize. Because of course he said it one time, even when the Senate Gospel Akpabio, the Senate President, said that they should go and keep their home tight, so that they will not be complaining that people are taking their members and all. So, and the same thing Saraki has been doing ever since. He has been going from one place to another for the reconciliation of the party, so that the party can come together and work as one for the 2027 general election. And of course, just like what he has said now, it is better that people defect now than for them to defect in 2026, because that will even cause more problem to the party. But now, let everybody, if you want to differ from the PDP to the APC now, this is, according to him, this is the time for you to do it, so that by the 2026 they'll be able to regroup. But I just want to wait and see how the whole regrouping will be, because this is the same political party that was saying that is going to smoke out those who are not loyal to the party. So imagine you smoking out those that are not loyal to the party. How will you be able to face the race of the 2027 general election? So we'll wait for that.
All right, I am still on the Daily Post newspaper. The NDLEA destroys 30 hectares cannabis farmland in Cross River. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency says it has destroyed 30 hectares of cannabis tavia, otherwise known as Indian hemp plantation, in the forest of Udukpani local government area of Cross River. The commander of the state NDLEA, Mrs. Rachel Umuebali, said this during an interview in Calabar on Saturday. She said that some suspects were also arrested in connection with the destroyed plantation, and expressing worries that the locals were protecting the drug merchant. Umuebali said 163.9 kilograms of cannabis tavia seed was recovered from the plantation. She added that a total of 6,716.8 kilograms of illicit drugs were seized by the command between January and June. Given the breakdown of the figures, she said the NDLEA seized about 2,935 kilograms of cannabis tavia within the 6 months. Umwebali said the command also arrested 191 persons within the same period. 15 persons were convicted for various offenses in the period under the review, she said. According to her, what is worrisome in the finding is that most of these drug peddlers are not indigents of the state. Umwebali said that the command, with the active support of the state First Lady, successfully concluded this year's drug day, which has a theme as the evidence is clear, invest in prevention. We have also continued to carry out various advocacy programs in various institutions across the state with the object of reducing the menace of drug abuse in the society. Umebali said the challenges of the command was underfunding and logistics. That is well detailed on the Daily Post this morning. It says NDLEA destroyed 30 hectares of cannabis farmland in Cross River.
Now, we must really commend the efforts of the NDLEA because this is not in fact, this year they've been doing a wonderful job. Let me just start from the one that they went to a particular market. I've forgotten the name of the market. They went there and, they saw drugs not meant to be sold, and they seized them like a full container worth billions of naira. Now again, there was a particular one that they burnt this cannabis and everything alongside a major road in I've forgotten the name of the place also. So they also got that, and now this one. So the NDLEA have been doing their best and been trying just to curb all this whole issue of drug abuse and all, because that is just a farmland of cannabis.
Yeah,
imagine. All right, moving on to leadership newspaper this morning. 110 applications. Nigeria does not need more political parties. CSO orders. Some civil society organization and experts in the electoral process have said that the country does not need more political parties to add to the registered 19, but quality and viral ones would deepen democracy. They spoke against the backdrop of the 110 applications to the Independent National Electoral Commission for registration as political parties. INEC had on Wednesday disclosed that it received letter from the intent of 110 associations to be registered as political parties. These include All Democratic Alliance (ADA), Advanced Democratic Alliance (ADA), Absolute Congress (ABC), Key Freedom Party (KFP), All Grassroots Party (AGP), Progress Action Party (CAP), United Social Democratic Party, National Action Congress Party, Great Alliance Party (GAP), New Nigerian Congress (NNC), United People Victory Party, and Allied Conservative Congress (ACC). Other are People's Freedom Party, and among others like that. Now, reacting to this development, a lecturer in the Department of Political Science, Bergman University, Karu Michael John Agbo, told Leadership Sunday that the country does not need new political parties added to the numbers in the existing, as it will not change anything in the electoral system. Agbo said that what it needed at the moment is the amendment of Electoral Act to reflect the new reality of the electoral system and call for stricter guidelines that would limit how groups and associations apply to be registered as political parties. And this is coming this morning on the Vanguard, on the Leadership newspaper, where it says 110 applications. Nigeria does not need more political parties. CSOs orders.
It was yesterday that we were talking about it on the show that what is the useful, or what's the essence, or what's the importance of this over 110 new political parties that have been registered? What exactly is the importance?
No, they are, but just like people said yesterday, people have right to register a new political party. Already we have 19 in Nigeria. So when other political party come on board now, that's not a problem. But I'm very sure in 2023 we do not have an issue like this, or a very there's nothing like even more party registration like this, because this one is even more. 110. Why we have 19 before? 19 to 110. Why? But the thing is, I was asking someone on Friday when we were on Bagidi, I was asking the person, I said, okay, we have 110 applications now that the INEC should register. Are these people bringing another people from extraterrestrial, or they are bringing people from abroad? Or they're bringing people from other places?
Nigerian.
Yes, same Nigeria. And we have people that belong to 3 parties at the same time.
Wow.
Do you understand? Now, the thing is that we see about 110. And what is the essence of creating another political parties? And because people say they want to have their own right, they want to have their own say, and this party will come and change everything. And that is how we've been doing it ever since we have 3 political parties till we have 19.
Yeah.
We are coming to change everything. We are coming to make life easier for you. We are coming to make this. Now, these political parties to be registered now, they are also coming for them to ease the problem and to solve problem of the masses. That is what they will say.
Yes.
Now, after the plan or whatever that they are trying to do, maybe to unseat the sitting president, another party will still come again after the end of after 2027. Then we have another 4 years. And I'll say, we have another 200 political parties to be registered. Now, is that how we're going to continue to run the country? But I'm very sure the INEC is going to do something about it, because I'm very sure I do not know I do not know, and I stand to be corrected. I do not know if these 110 political parties are going to be registered.
Yeah.
I do not know. Because already we have a news where the INEC says they have suspended anything that has to do with party registration. But now, we have 110 applications, and we have 19 before. You know, it's not even comparing 19 to 110.
The figures are really,
but let us see
different.
How it will go.
Yeah, our time is fast spent, but I'll quickly pick my last story this morning from the Nation newspaper. Fubara Rivers peace terms heavy, bitter, but necessary. Suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara yesterday asked his supporters to accept the terms of his peace deal with Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike in good faith. There is no price too big to pay for peace, said Fubara, apparently in reaction to criticism of the people's deal by some people who accused him of surrendering to alleged intimidation. Fubara spoke at a meeting with members of a simplified family in Port Harcourt 24 hours just after the Abuja peace deal. He described the condition as a very heavy and bitter but necessary. He gave no details of terms which media reports had said it included in one term for him payment of withheld salary and allowances for the 27 pro-Wike legislators in the State House of Assembly and withdrawal of all court cases filed by the two sides. The legislators are to discontinue plans to impeach him. Fubara gave a background to the peace deal, saying, after the meeting we had before the May 29th, we've had a series of meetings, and one of the meetings we had was the one met with the president, and President Tinubu clearly said, I want you and your Oga to settle. Nobody can take away the role by my Oga played. That's the truth. Yes, we may have our differences, but nobody here will say he doesn't know the role of the man played. Nobody can wish away the risk he took. Yes, at a point we had our differences, but if yesterday there is a need for us to settle, please, anyone who genuinely believes in me should surely and understand that that is the right thing to do. So my dear fathers, brothers and sisters, no matter the level of peace as a meditator will arrange, the true peace is the one both of you are sitting down together and say, yes, this is what we want. The news is well detailed on the Nation newspaper this morning. Says Fubara, Rivers peace terms as heavy, bitter, but necessary.
Well, let me just say, just like we've discussed, and that will be the last story we're picking anyway. But let me just say, ever since this whole issue between Fubara and Wike started, I think even when even due to straight to the time he was suspended by the president, I think there's been a kind of peace coexistence in Rivers State between the people and the sole administrator. But the thing is that since this whole issue has been settled, even Fubara said it himself that he's happy to have Fubara back as his,
he's ready to even work with him.
And then now they're working together. And of course, this actually came as a result of conditions that he was given by the president. No, there's a condition that, okay, now, once you're going back to this place, you're going to spend 1 year and 6 months, or maybe it's not even close, it's not even 2 years. You spend 1 year and 6 months and you leave the office, and he said he agreed. Yeah. While so many people are saying that, no, you shouldn't agree, that he has actually succumbed after saying that he will not beg, he will not do this, he will not do that, now he has succumbed and all. But the whole issue is that, the whole thing is that peace has actually returned back to Rivers State, and that is the most important, because imagine he was impeached by Martin Amawele that night. They were planning to impeach him and everything. There will be a kind of anarchy and problem in Rivers State. But this is what is happening this morning.
At least now we have a settlement. Even after the 6 months of the suspension is done, there is a settlement to fall back to now.
Absolutely. And that's all we're taking this morning on Newspaper Headlines on Radio Afinju. Thank you so much for joining us and being part of the show. All right, do let us know your reaction in the comment section and what you feel about some of the top stories we'll bring to your hearing this morning. My name is John Omojasola. Today's Sunday. Enjoy and pray for Nigeria. Pray for yourself. Stay out of trouble and drink plenty of water. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening to us this morning. Don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, all at Radio Afinju. Also on our website, www.afinju.fm. Have a wonderful Sunday. My name remains Tolulope Awoyali.